And welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. Well, it all came down to this, the Ambassador League title on the line as the Aquinas boys basketball team went on the road to rival Arrowhead Christian. And it was simple. The winner of this game, the final regular season game of the year, would have the crown of Ambassador League champions. So let's take you out to ACA. It is always a battle between these two rivals. Senior night as well for the Eags, trying to get a big win on their home floor. But the Falcons a little short-handed in this one. But could Brooklyn Ross and the Falcons go on the road and win at Eagle Arena and lock up that league championship? Parker Disselberg to Garang Ngodi hits the jumper there. Then Juma Contendo, the jumper for the Aquinas Falcons. Then it's going to be Dylan Spears. Nice move here. Drives inside for the Eagles, and the runner is good for Spears. And then Curtis Imungu to Anthony Jerome, and Jerome with an easy finish close to the rim for the Eagles. They looked pretty strong early on in this game. It's going to be Jaden Heinsma spotting up and knocking down the three for ACA. They built an 11-2 lead on the Falcons, and they were not done yet. They would go up by 10 when Spears finds Disselberg here on the run. Eagles in transition, and Disselberg throws it down. It's a 10-point advantage for Arrowhead Christian. Disselberg had a big game for ACA. In transition, then from the outside hits the three. It's now 18-4. What a start for ACA against the Falcons. Then it's going to be Marlon Simon, the steal, up ahead to Brooklyn Ross, who's going to finish right there at the rim for the Falcons as they were trying to cut into that ACA lead. This time it's the big man, the 7-footer, Contendo, hits the three. That makes it 18-9. Then it's going to be Heinsma inside. The floater up and in. ACA goes up by 11. So the Eagles had this lead, trying to hold on to it to keep that cushion on the Falcons. Big Xavier Mendez hits the jumper there for Aquinas. Then it's going to be Spears to Disselberg. And it's going to be a 9-point ACA lead and the foul as well on Disselberg. And then it's going to be back the other way with the Falcons. Contendo inside, the big man going to the rim. Gets the basket to fall there. But too much ACA in this one. They had the early lead, and that would stand up as they hold off the Falcons. Heinsma hits the three. 51-47 the final score. So Arrowhead Christian is your Ambassador League champions. The Eagles and the Falcons now advance to the CIF Southern Section playoffs. And we'll take a look at the first round matchups in just a moment. But right now we want to move on to the Citrus Belt League from the Ambassador League. In the CBL, Redlands East Valley had already locked up the CBL championship, but trying to go undefeated in CBL play. They were on the road taking on second place Beaumont, and it came down to the final shot. You will not believe this one. So Beaumont led 58-56. Rev has the ball, 9 seconds on the clock. The Wildcats will get one more look, and it's a great look. Damaj Moore takes the shot from deep. I mean, he is like 8 feet behind the three-point line, and he hits the three at the buzzer. Redlands East Valley wins 59-58. The CBL champions go undefeated in league play. What an incredible finish there. So Rev will be your CBL champions, Beaumont in second, and Cajon third place in the CBL. The Cowboys will head to the playoffs. They were taking on Citrus Valley in their final league game of the year, and that was going to be Aiden Todd hits the three, and then Carmine Amaya with the basket there for the Blackhawks. CV looking for a big win on their home floor against Cajon. Keandre Harris, the three for the Cowboys there, and then more from Amaya and the Blackhawks. Amaya gets inside, kisses it high off the window, and good. How about Cajon's Jackson Murray from the corner? Cans the three ball for the Cowboys. And then it's going to be Jelani McGrew inside. That one will fall for McGrew. He gets the putback. And then Miles Snowden driving inside. Hangs, puts it up and hits. Great basket there by Snowden. And then Murray, the mid-range jumper right beyond the elbow. And he sinks that one. But Aiden Todd had himself a big game. So did Amaya, but Aiden Todd hits the three there. You're going to see him in the highlights quite a bit in this one. Todd again from the outside, buries it. Another three for Todd. And then Cajon trying to answer here. Marquise Aubrey the steal, and Aubrey the finish there. What a great play there by Aubrey. Then more from Amaya and the Blackhawks. Amaya the basket, and then Todd for three. Why not? That one is deep, and that one is good for Aiden Todd again. Citrus Valley also battling on the offensive glass. Chase Carpenter having a great game on the boards, gets the offensive put back there. And then Cajon, they would respond. Jeremiah Currington hits the basket, and there it is right there. Good job by Currington. And then it's going to be Citrus Valley's Amaya hits the three. He had 20 points in this game, but he was the second leading scorer in this one. The Blackhawks were led by that guy. Aiden Todd hits another three for CV. And then Todd, well, he can go inside too. The runner and the foul. The basket is good and one for Aiden Todd. So Cajon having to offset a big game from Todd and Amaya. Snowden finds McGrew for the basket. But here's Amaya inside for two more of his 20 points in this game for the Blackhawks. And then it's going to be Snowden in transition. Look at the Cowboys on the run. And Snowden takes matters into his own hands, lays it in with the left hand. But too much Todd in this game. He had 9 3-pointers in this game. There's another one right there. He had 29 points. Amaya had 20 points, and they did most of the heavy lifting on the offensive end as Citrus Valley beats Cajon by a final of 60-45. So the Cowboys lose their final CBL game, but they are going to the playoffs. They finish at 5-5 in the CBL, and they are going to the postseason in Division 6. So let's go ahead and take a look at the matchups in the first round for boys basketball, and then we'll take a look at the girls basketball matchups as well. Here it is. Boys basketball, Aquinas in Division 3. They will be at home against Knight. In Division 5, we have San Bernardino and Indian Springs. The Cardinals will be at home against Oakwood. The Coyotes on the road at Brea Olinda. San Bernardino, your MVL champion this season. Cajon, you just saw the highlights. They will be on the road at Orange Vista in Division 6. Public Safety Academy take on Newberry Park Adventist in Division 9. And also in Division 9, Pacific on the road at Acacia Wood Academy. So that is boys basketball first round matchups. Now let's take a look on the girls side for the first round. Aquinas, your Ambassador League champions, at home in Division 3 against El Medina. In Division 5, San Bernardino against Yeshiva. In Division 7, two schools. We got Indian Springs on the road at Nogales and Cajon on the road at Paloma Valley in Menifee, also in D7. So those are your first round matchups for high school basketball with our teams here in the city of San Bernardino. When we come back, big high school football news. San Gorgonio names its new head football coach, and we will hear from him when we come back here on Sports Weekly on IEMG.